Welcome to episode 147 of the Thunder Underground podcast. I'm Trent. Jason's with me here, and we've got the entire Rural Republic band with us as well.
Yes, we do.
This is pretty cool because, you know, a lot of times when you get, or when we get touring bands, pretty much any time we've ever get touring bands, you know, you just get one or two members.
Yeah.
And so to get the full band to sit down with us when they came through the Cain's Ballroom in Tulsa last week, this is pretty cool. Looking forward to hearing this one again.
Yeah, definitely.
But before we get into all that, let's just jump right into some music. We got a brand new track from Slumlord Radio, who we played quite a long time ago.
Yeah, we played them before.
Yeah, it's probably been well over a year now. But they got a brand new track. Check this out. It's called Holy Smokes.
Times blasted in the bed, toast to the town. Here's what they say with extra vision. Body red, if it ain't already, they're busted, baby soul. Right on through, if it ain't already, they're busted, guess so. Thought you knew, bastard. Don't fix all those lyrics when love has to let me speak. Your arm around it now. Course it was gone about you and knew it was a snake. All alone, if it ain't already, they're busting baby soul. Right on through, if it ain't already, they're busting guess so. Thought you knew, blaster. Don't fix all those lyrics when loud. As you let me speak loud.
Holy Smokes, a brand new song from Slumlord Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And these guys, just like the previous stuff, they've got an album out called Too Pretty for Tijuana, which is just some kick-ass, dirty rock and roll. And this song's no different.
What was it? Was it them that called themselves Punk and Roll?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And
that's a good description.
And that's definitely, it's fitting when you hear this stuff. And I like this new song. It's a great recording. You can tell these guys are, you know, stepping up a little bit. Holy smokes.
Yeah, this almost fits like all the old Capitol Underground stuff we were talking about
Yeah,
before,
you could definitely go with that, you know?
Yeah, so if you're a
And
fan
go back
of that
and
stuff,
listen to that episode for sure.
yeah, you definitely need to dig more into Slumlord Radio. I mean, I'd love to see these guys live. It's just a fun... All their music sounds fun, so I'm sure as a live band, they're fun as well. They've got, like I said, previous music as well, and this song also has a video up on YouTube. It's on Spotify. I'm sure it's on iTunes as well, so be sure and follow these guys on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And check out Slumlord Radio. Here's something I wanted to bring up that I forgot to mention beforehand.
You motherfucker, throwing me a curveball.
That's how we got to do it.
Okay, let's do it. I was trying to do that. I couldn't think of shit.
Well, this is something that I just thought was funny, and we haven't even talked about this, you know, outside of the podcast either. And way back, I mean, several months ago, we recorded the Every Album in a Row with Pantera.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's that. It might have been a podcast, but it's been a while. We mentioned, I wonder why there's never been a Dime Vision 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because Dime Vision says Volume 1.
Yes.
And we're like, surely he has more stuff because he called the first one Volume 1. So you assume Vinnie Paul's got more stuff laying around. Well, as I'm sure you know now, that's about to come out.
Yes.
And it's like, how did we... You know, it's just funny we mentioned that after all these years, and then
we willed it to be, Trent.
That could be it.
And see, I kind of got... I don't know, you know, some stuff I skim over. I might just see a headline, you know, because I'm scatterbrained. So, you know, and you know how it is with social media. You see a million things a day and you can't keep it all straight.
Right.
Now, was there a crowdfunding thing for this? Or is it like for real coming out no matter what?
No, it's coming out sometime later this month.
Okay. And it's got like a DVD or a CD or some other... Doesn't it have some other stuff with it?
That I can't. I read like the press release a while back, and I can't remember.
Yeah, see,
I just know that like their Thunder Underground, we got email from their PR company.
Nice.
And it's like, here's look at this exclusive trailer, and I still haven't watched it, and I meant to send it to you and tell you. So maybe we should watch that and talk about it next time.
Yeah, send that shit on
because I'm sure it won't be out by episode 148, so we can talk about it then, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So all this was for naught.
Oh, I have something that I'm happy about. I just remembered.
Okay.
My Master Puppets Deluxe reissue remaster box set ships this week.
That's right.
So I think Friday or Saturday night for me will be fun.
It'll
just be me by myself, but it usually is anyways because I suck.
So you're getting Master Puppet, you'll finally be able to hear the thing that should not be.
What do you mean?
I just assume if you're getting it, you've never heard
No,
it before.
you son of a bitch, listen to me. No, that was terrible to call you that.
It's all good.
You're giving me shit here. What I'm saying is it's got like 48 fucking records, 23 DVDs, and it's got like a fucking huge fucking coffee table book. It's like, it's got
James Hetfield's toenail clippings.
Yes, which I'm really excited about. It's got a cassette. It's got fucking, you know, a bunch of different shit in it. And so I'm really happy about that. It's going to be a fandom.
Well, we talked about when, like, was that a year ago now? Whatever, maybe when they put out Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning.
You got those two.
I got the Kill 'Em All, just the remastered single record.
Oh, I thought you had the box set thing.
And then Ride the Lightning.
You just got Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning, I've got the entire deluxe.
Okay.
But it was the deluxe vinyl. It didn't come with DVDs and all this other stuff.
Well, I watched the unboxing thing of what I ordered, and it's got all kinds of shit in it. I can't wait.
So, like, yeah, when this happened, I was really excited because of Master Puppets is my favorite Metallica album.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, I'll get that. And then, of course, like anyone that loves Metallica or loves metal, you're excited to see they're going to do this with And Justice for All.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then what's that going to sound like if they actually remaster it the way people hope they do? You know? So.
Yeah, I know. I have to go back and get the Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning box sets.
Right.
You know, I'm never going to save any money.
So this weekend or next week, or when you get this, we should have a live YouTube stream of Jason unboxing the Metallica box set.
We should. You're not going to be here this weekend, though.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't know if I can wait.
Yeah, you can't hold off on that. Yeah.
Anyways,
or I can show you how to do a live stream on your phone, you do it yourself.
That sounds like
You
so
don't need
much
me
work. Yeah, I just show up and talk and look good, all right?
Right.
You know, you do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's terrible to
I'm
admit, but it's the fucking truth.
I'm like the editor of Playboy, and you're like Carmen Electra. You're like,
Oh, Jesus.
right.
Oh, man. Anyway.
I don't know why she's the one that popped in my head, but
you're-
she's awesome.
You're Jabba the Hutt, I'm Salacious Crumb. That's really what this is. I admit it.
Hell yeah.
Even though I look more like Jabba the Hutt, but anyways.
Shit.
We're way off tangent now.
Yeah, we are. Should we reel it back in to the subject?
I guess so.
It's
Royal
on the title?
Republic.
Yeah. So Rural Republic came to the Cain's Ballroom in Tulsa, Oklahoma about a week ago, opening up for Theory of a Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, we showed up at this show thinking we're excited to see Rural Republic. There's some other band before them. Whatever. You know, not to sound like a jaded fuck, but that's, you know, when you're younger, you're always excited to find out, is this opening band cool?
Yeah.
When you get older, you're just like,
But you're
this band's going to suck.
What the fuck is this? Who is this? What the fuck is this going to be? Can I go get a beer? Can we, call the venue and find out what time the band we want to see goes on. Let's just get there like 5 minutes before.
Right.
Well, I don't want to fuck with this shit.
But since we started this podcast,
Yes.
we've matured a little. And,
Definitely.
And try to check out everybody, get there in time to do it.
I don't know about you, but anyways.
Right. And we were there in time, of course, to see Ayron Jones. By God, I'm glad we were.
I know. I mean, it's definitely a by God King moment.
Yeah.
This guy shreds. His band was great. I mean, these guys are from Seattle. Ayron Jones, look him up. You know, it's what rock and roll should be like. I mean, rock and roll. You know, it shouldn't be Nickelback. It shouldn't be, dudes in fucking spacesuits. Okay?
Are you ripping on Starset on this podcast?
I didn't say it, you did.
Is there a whole line of bands I don't know about that?
I'm getting off track here.
Okay, I know
God
what you're
damn
saying.
it, listen to me. This is what, like, this is raw, this is real rock and roll. This is no frills. This is what, you know, it was built on. It's like getting back to the, you know, the building blocks of the real shit.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, so much can be said about Ayron Jones himself and his playing and his singing, but his band was amazing. That drummer was crazy at the end of the first song when they were doing the double bass. And
right.
I mean, Jesus, man. Well, I mean,
that bass player was all over the place.
yeah, I mean, it was just a power trio of power trios.
Well, like you said, the building blocks of rock and roll. This to me, the sound of this band is almost like if you're like digging through some records at an old, you know, pawn shop.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this looks cool. And you take it home and you put it on, you know, and you just uncovered something from 1978, you know, and you're like, let's see what this sounds like. And then this is what would come out of the fucking speakers.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying this sounds dated at all because it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it just gives you that feeling like this is some long lost stuff we should have heard a long time ago. You know?
You know,
if that makes sense.
I get that because, you know, you want to, you know, you like what you like. And if you like a lot of these older bands, I would hope that you kind of want to see someone new doing the same thing and carrying on the torch. And that's kind of hard to find these days. So when you find something like this that harkens back to that, but is also fresh and is also doing its own thing and doing a real, honest, pure thing, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's like the skies just opened up.
Yeah, that's a good point because a lot of those retro bands or whatever just sound like they're just trying to sound like a retro band. This sounds real.
Yeah.
It just sounds like real music. It just sounds like dirty, bluesy, but not blues.
Yeah.
But just dirty, bluesy rock and roll that's just seeping with emotion, basically. You know?
There you go. And like you said, it's like there's a lot of these bands that are doing the retro thing, but they're really fucking doing the retro thing. Look at us. We're even going to dress like we're from 1974 or whatever. But I mean, and there's that lane, and that's fine. But these guys are, they're really blazing something new, I think, here.
Yeah. Yeah, really excited to see where these guys go and what else they do. They've only got one album out, I think. We listened to it on Spotify when we were driving back from that show, and it was great, and so really hope these guys catch on and get some exposure. It's cool that they're on a tour like this.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them come back to like the Shrine or the Vanguard or something.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, because that sound is, tailor-made for a small club.
Yeah.
But you also hope to see them, of course,
definitely,
get bigger.
Yeah. Of course.
So then Royal Republic was next.
Yeah.
This band is a band that both of us have latched onto really quick in the last couple months, just after hearing Baby for the first time. I'm like, man, what the fuck? This doesn't sound like anything else on the radio. Look more into it, and it's just like every song on this new album, or from last year, Weekend Man, is as good as that single. Hashtag All Killer No Filler.
Exactly.
And then even the previous couple albums, it's like this band can't do any wrong, and I'm just like an instant big fan.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff, this is kind of where, me and you are on the same page with these kind of bands. That's one thing, it's one of the things we both like is, and their live show is ferocious, and I mean, Adam had the crowd in the palm of his hand, I mean, from the get-go.
Yeah.
And, the swagger is just fucking amazing. I mean, and then on top of that, their level of musicality is amazing. I mean, it really is. I mean, fuck, they did Battery, for Christ's sakes, and they did it for real. And that's kind of weird when, you kind of got kind of a pop punk kind of thing going on with guys in little ties and stuff. But I mean, they're legit.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, like you said, I think you talked about it kind of in the interview. It's just, they don't need distortion to rock the fuck out, right?
No, they don't.
And it's just like pure, like you kind of said with Ayron Jones, just pure rock and roll, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's really...
And it's cool to see something like this. This is kind of, when I think of like Sweden and all the stuff I've ever listened to from there, it's always really heavy, or it's like that, whatever you want to call it, that Backyard Babies kind of thing, where it's like glammy. These guys are kind of in between there somewhere,
Yeah, exactly.
I've been critical before of Theory of a Dead Man's live shows. No need to get into that, but...
definitely not.
I've always said I like their music for the most, pretty much everything they've ever done. I just want to say that after seeing those two bands open up, I don't know, Theory of a Dead Man's at a level they're doing a club tour. They could probably have a say in who's opening for them.
Yeah.
They got some gigantic fucking balls. Having not one, but two bands that aren't just good. Because you see a lot of bands that are good opening up for other bands, but these are like next level exceptional live bands opening up for a band that is pretty average live. No knock to Theory of a Dead Man. I mean, like you said, both bands had the crowd going, and people, of course, were staying to see Theory, and they like them.
And Ayron Jones and Royal Republic both put on sets where, when they got done, you went, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Check these bands out if you haven't.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Royal Republic. Let's get into that here. Well, before we do, I'll say if you're listening for the first time, SoundCloud.com/Thunder-Underground, TheThunderUnderground.com. Facebook is The Thunder Underground. This here is all 4 members of Royal Republic.
Really good. It's been a lot of fun. Everybody's super nice, and the venues are great, and the crowds have been really. It's a very good tour for us.
You guys seem to open up for a a wide array of bands, you know, what's been the best open for? Who kind of responds to you better?
I think that's what's kind of cool. What's always been kind of cool for us is that it was always a very, very good response.
Yeah.
Like wherever we went, and if you go to Europe and you see like our headline shows, you will see like everybody from the 18-year-old girls to the MC, like the chopper dudes in the back with their handlebar white mustaches and patched vests and everything. So it is it appeals to a lot of people. Yeah. I guess, and we love getting out of our element and playing in front of audiences that are maybe not our own.
Yeah,
that way.
Well, good to get out of your comfort zone.
And it's nice to convince people. Like
Yeah.
if we go play our headline show, it's like we already have them from the first note.
Yeah,
And here we gotta win people over.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been a band for
10 years.
almost 10 years, so it's good that to feel that we can still do that.
Well, after this 10 years, you're finally starting to crack into America. It seems like to me the last year or so.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we just
can you guys tell the difference? Yeah. Well, I mean, last year was the first time you played here, right?
Oh, this year
This
actually.
year,
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
April. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys had done festivals and.
No, that was the
or
first
that
time.
was this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what do you guys notice first off, as far as crowds go, different wise when you play here compared to Europe?
I think it's kind of tough to compare it when we didn't do any headline shows here yet. We don't have an audience here.
Right.
I mean, obviously, the audience that doesn't know you, they're going to be checking you out. They're going to be maybe nodding their heads and clapping their hands and doing the thing. But it's not like they're going to beat the crap out of each other as soon as we hit the hit the stage, but like they do in Europe, where we have a big following. But so far so good. Everybody seems to, or not everybody, but most of the people seem to enjoy what we're doing. So I'm carefully optimistic.
Talk about the way your sounds develop. Like for instance, when I see you dance with another, it's not super overdriven, but it still rocks and it's still heavy, and it's uplifting. And I mean, where did that come from? Was that a premeditated thing, or
What do you mean, like the energy or the?
Yeah, energy. I mean, you don't need a lot to come off like, just,
No,
I think it's really cool.
I like that.
The mix is kick-ass. The mix of that song is kick-ass.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause,
it's insane.
It's basically just two guitars, bass, and drums, and like you said, it's not super overdriven and stuff. There's actually not a lot of gain at all. Michael Ilbert did the mix on that one. I don't know if you know Michael Ilbert.
Grammy-winning mixer dude. Like he mixed actually the last 3 of our records. And but yes, I mean that's you can add distortion to infinity and still not get energy. You know what I mean? And energy is what we build on.
Yeah.
Was what we always did, and I think with the last album now, or the new album for America, Weekend Man, is where we found our sound. I feel for the first time, really. People always ask us about, where does your sound come from, this is the first time where we really stood up as a band and against when kind of, because people around you always have input and ideas, and they want to make it sound like this and like that, and look like this and look like that and whatnot. And by now we've been in a band long enough that we know what this band is and what we do best and what we do sound like. So nowadays when people ask, what inspired Weekend Man, I use, we say we did, kind of. Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Took you a few albums to get there.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
Well, this question may sound kind of corny, but we've had a few bands on from Sweden, and I always like to ask, because everything I've ever heard from Sweden, no matter what it is, what style of rock, it's like exceptional, like as far as the musicianship and the quality of it. So what is it about the country you think that develops musicians at that quality?
Oh, you mentioned something about music education being pretty good in Sweden.
It is pretty good. It's awesome, actually. I mean, I believe from like the 3rd grade or something, you get music education as an add-on after like you have, the vanliga kursarna. Swedish, mathematics and biology and all that shit. Then if you want to go on to have music classes, you get those for free. So you just stay in school after classes are over and you get music lessons
You just
for
pick an
free.
instrument that you want
You
to play.
just pick an instrument that you want to play. And
I don't really think that's the answer, though. It's like that. There are a lot of terrible bands in Sweden, and a lot of. Yeah, but
I just never heard them.
No, but yeah, that's it. I mean, there are more terrible bands than there are good bands, and there are way more terrible musicians than there are really talented musicians. I guess.
I think because there's been a lot of bands, like ABBA was probably the first one, or maybe it was Björn Skifs band. Hooga Jacka.
Hooga.
What the hell is
I
that?
don't even know what they were called.
He was the first.
Blue Vikings or
I don't know.
Viking, huh?
no
Blue White.
Blue Vikings or something.
These are the Vikings.
Anyway, I think there's a nice setup because there's continually bands coming up, and because of that, there's the industry behind it and the connections to the rest of the world to support it. And I think that's a huge part of the answer. There's a setup so that when there is a good band, and there's pretty much always, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of good bands in the world, but there's no setup to get them out of their country. And it's also helpful, like you see from every small town, like we're pretty much all from small cities, I guess, and you can see from like other small cities there's a band coming, and then you can just walk in their footsteps. You see it's possible, you can get somewhere, and then I think
it was kind of an easy bonus for us a lot of times too when we started out and did the first shows. That people actually came and checked out the show because they knew we were a Swedish band.
They were like, yeah, but Swedish bands are always great. And then they came and they were like, yeah, I told you.
Well, have you guys started talking about the next album yet, or are you just riding this one out?
Briefly now, I mean, this is we're just at the end of this whole cycle. It's been almost 2 years on the road and off since we released the album in Europe. So this will be the last gasping breaths of Weekend Man in the US. We have another run in Europe when we come back now in December, but then we'll get to work on the new stuff. Finish that up hopefully next spring, and then we'll be back as soon as we can.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. The baby video is just, I mean, I don't know if you guys get questions about that, but it's freaking amazing.
Thanks.
The roller skating theme, how did that come up? And I mean, just talk about it. It was great, hilarious.
We like pain.
True.
We usually, I don't know why we insist on coming up with ideas that we can't really pull off. Because nobody in this band knows how to dance or roller skate for that matter. So we decided that maybe that's the way to go then.
Combined it.
We can learn how to do that, and
Like do a choreography on a fucking roller skate.
and I think we started 2 weeks before the shoot. That
Yeah.
was like the
Yeah.
first session, like when we got the roller skates.
I remember saying as well, like, let's not do any cuts and stuff. Let's make it
One go.
and like make one take. That didn't happen though.
No.
So you spent about 2 weeks learning?
Well, he pretty much messed up his knee, like before Christmas. We went to
Skiing resort.
Yeah.
skiing resort to play a festival, like an outdoor festival in the German Alps or Austrian Alps, and he fell and it really messed up his knee.
Yep.
Tore a cruciate ligament and
Yeah. I had it all.
damaged his minuscule and stuff. And then we were like, well, we kind of have to do this now because we've already paid all the money for it.
I had a really good conversation with my physiotherapist before we were about to shoot the video. I just asked him, so we're about to do this video. It's about this, roller skates. And I'm like, that's cool. Is it okay if I do it? And he just looked at me like I was stupid. And I kind of agree with him. It was painful, but the final result came out really good.
The
Yeah.
recording was 48 hours of
Yeah.
just
Of terror, yeah.
messed up feet and bruises. And
Again, we have the luxury of being surrounded by very talented people. Michael Ilbert does the sound, and Leo makes us look all right.
I've noticed you guys do a lot of acoustic stuff
Yeah.
as well. So is this something where do you write a lot acoustically, or do you write the songs and then go back and arrange them acoustically?
No, it's actually the other way. Yeah, it's the other way around. We do the electric thing, and then there's always the request to well, we need you guys at the radio station to do an acoustic version of this song, and we figured out pretty quickly that our songs sound terrible when you just translate it right off to acoustic guitar and you play the riffs. It's riff rock, you know, and so we kind of had to rearrange everything, like make the songs into strumming chord songs, and we all love that kind of music. We all love a lot of music, and it just seemed like a fun thing. We actually made a side project called Royal Republic and the Nosebreakers, which is a tribute to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, obviously, inspired by that. And it's basically us and a bunch of very talented friends around us with a Western kind of inspired thing.
Because we can't play those country instruments, so we need to get other people, again, other talent.
To make us look good.
Well, I noticed that on Instagram, maybe just a few weeks ago, you put that, how much Tom Petty meant to you as a musician. Like, talk about that for a minute if you can.
Well, me?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else was a big fan of it.
It's one of the many artists that I've grown up listening to. My dad being a musician as well, and we always had music around the house. Apart from that, so Tom Petty was always Full Moon Fever. I think was the first album I really got into and I was 10 or something, and then I kind of backtracked it as I grew older and listened to all his stuff and his stuff he did without the Heartbreakers and so on. And then when me and Pa went to Los Angeles in 2014 during the writing for Weekend Man, and at that time it was really slow and stiff and tough, and everybody pushed us from different directions. We felt a lot of pressure. It wasn't really fun being in the band at that point in time. It wasn't like a pleasure to write songs or do anything like that. And so me and Pa went to LA to meet with some songwriters that our manager thought maybe you should, go meet the real pros. Like, fuck you. But okay, so we more or less went to shut everybody up. Okay, we'll go and we'll be drunk for 2 weeks. And I went down to Amoeba Music and I got myself another copy of this album, The Last DJ, the Tom Petty album, which is one of my favorite records. And I was browsing through the little paper thing there, the booklet, another drunk evening, and listening, and I just read it, and it has a very nice line, and it says, this record is dedicated to everybody who loves music just a little bit more than money. And the whole record is basically a declaration of war, as I see it, on the music industry as such. And that was a really a good guiding star for me at that moment. Just okay, fuck everybody. Let's do our thing.
It's fitting because you were in town to work with outside writers.
Exactly.
We ended up scrapping.
We scrapped all of it. Nothing happened. We don't
But it did one good thing. It unified us around the fact that nobody writes Royal Republic better than Royal Republic.
No, it's we're pretty much like a compass sometimes.
Yeah.
It's we have 4 very strong and very different opinions every now and then. And this outside thing can really unify you. And that's what happened before, Weekend Man finally came through.
Well, having strong opinions like that, does it make it tough sometimes to agree on a song, or does stuff come together fairly quick usually?
Yeah, sure.
And we're the slowest songwriters in the world.
Yeah. But I think we've kind of... it used to be worse, I feel. Now it's we still fight and we still have major disagreements. But everybody knows that we're all in it to make the best possible version of ourselves that we can make. So I think you need disagreements. It's like a relationship. You need to disagree if you're always everybody's just, you need the storms to see that it's worth it. Stay passionate. Otherwise there's no passion. If there's no storms, there's no passion.
I saw a video online, a cell phone video of one of your, I think it was Baby. And before you were telling a story about how you guys found an erotic novel online.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing?
He added this and I didn't know. And I was
This
what
a
the
real
hell?
thing that
Did
we
you
can
read it?
find? I don't know. I hadn't found the novel. I just saw it just
Let's
a couple
read it
days
out
ago.
loud now.
Okay.
This is a very, very graphic novel.
Yeah, it's
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable read when it's about you.
Right.
It feels like somebody's. I feel used. Ofredad. Me too.
Violated.
Violated. That's right. I feel violated.
So they didn't change the names or anything?
No. That's the whole point. It's like they made up.
It's a fan fiction.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know if you how much you read about it. I mean, you already heard the talk, but yeah, it is a pretty It's. I gotta say though, I gotta credit them because it's pretty well written.
Yes.
It's written like 50 Shades of Grey or something. It's just that it's me and Hannes.
You can hear the sounds. You can feel the throbbing cocks and gaping anuses.
It's quite something.
Well, not everyone's a subject to fan fiction, so that's
I guess that's a good thing. But,
I don't know if we should be honored or horrified.
yeah.
Well, maybe a little bit of both, yeah.
But the strange thing is we think it was a woman who wrote it.
Yeah.
It was like a full-on gay porn novel.
Nice.
Cool. Well, we appreciate your time, guys.
Our pleasure.
So that's how we end the interview.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
He's like sitting there like,
Yeah.
We got the scoop.
Like I said, he snuck that one in on me. I promise.
it's fine. We obviously spread the word during our shows. I bet that fan fiction has 4,000 hits because of him telling me.
That's awesome.
Whoever wrote it was like
I was talking like we should get Tom, like Johanna's boyfriend. So I was like go in the studio and read it like an audio, an audio book, and like
Now you can download it.
like maybe contact them. And, like,
Let's sell it in the merch store. That's
Yeah.
awesome. An audiobook.
yeah,
That's fucking kick ass. Do you do that?
There's money
Royally
made.
involved.
It's not-
The author. How do we do that thing?
What book?
The sex novel. If we were to make an audiobook out of it, it's fan fiction sex.
we recorded
We should
And we sell it in the merch store.
Yes.
$20.
a cassette tape.
Like, I would just let this guy start a lawsuit, and you know who it is. And it's still about you, so he's using your personal rights. I think he's probably... You have all the rights to use it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do we? Okay, we need to check that out because that could actually be like the bomb.
yeah.
The
They'll
thing
sell
that
more than
broke the
t-shirts.
internet.
Yeah.
And then we should have Tom in like standing in. No, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's you two standing.
Maybe we don't need to add fuel to this fire.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Our pleasure.
There you go, all 4 members of Royal Republic. Thank you to Liam from Indigood Entertainment and Ollie, their tour manager as well, for helping us out. And a special thanks, of course, to all 4 members of Royal Republic. It's quite an honor to be able to sit down with these guys for a bit backstage at the Cain's Ballroom.
Definitely. Third time I've got to go backstage at the Cain's. It's always cool. Makes me feel like a little bit more important than I usually am.
Yeah.
But the Royal Republic guys were great. You know, I had a couple of moments where I flipped over my questions or didn't know what I was saying because, you know, I'm me and they were awesome. So it was really cool and really fun. And, yeah, like you said, Ollie, the tour manager, super nice guy. Great experience all around.
Yeah, and be sure to get online on Google and try to find this erotic fan fiction.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jason already found it, sent it to
No,
me. I printed
I
it
did
out
not.
at work, printed the PDF out at work, bound it for him, and he's got a book setting up on his mantle.
You told me you weren't telling anybody about that.
Sorry.
Well,
We'll do an
hey, you know what?
unboxing video for that.
I like what I like. I'm not ashamed.
It's all good.
Whatever.
It's all good. Erotic fan fiction starring Royal Republic. That's our jam, man. Right? I don't know.
Definitely.
Well, like I said earlier, if this is your first time listening, SoundCloud.com/Thunder-Underground has all our previous episodes. Speaking of Sweden, we've had on Ian Hogland from the band Europe.
That's right.
Of course, that is the final countdown. One of the greatest rock songs of all time.
Hands down.
And then we've had the Truck Fighters.
Yeah.
And we've also had, who am I missing from Sweden?
Avatar.
There you go.
Johannes from Avatar.
That was great. And they've got a new album coming out in January. Looking
Yes.
forward to that. I've already heard that first single. It was really cool.
And yeah, definitely go back and listen to that one. That was a great interview. And that guy fucking rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very, I don't know what to say but yeah, that interview went way better than I expected.
Yeah.
That's what I was-
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
But speaking of interviews, we've had on Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of him before, but, he's a thing.
Right. We've also had on Bruce Kulick, formerly of Kiss. We've had on Shooter Jennings. We've had on John Connolly of Seven Dust. We've had on Wino from The Obsessed.
That's right.
And Spirit Caravan. Obsessed has new music coming out. We've had on Jimmy Bauer from I Hate God and Down and Superjoint. Speaking of Down, we also had on Kirk Winstein of Crowbar.
Crowbar and Down, yeah.
More than once.
That's right. Yeah, we've had on Kyle from The Sword.
Yep.
Drowning Pool. Act of Defiance, Megadeth. Look all that shit up.
Corrosion of Conformity, Saving Abel, Warrant. The list goes on, people.
Great White.
Yeah.
Twice.
Hell yeah. And should be a third time before you know it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it.
SoundCloud.com/Thunder-Underground. And then we've got our website, The Thunder Underground. Facebook is /The Thunder Underground. Instagram is The Thunder Underground. And YouTube is at The Thunder Underground. Most of these episodes are up on YouTube. And we've also got, like I mentioned earlier, the Every Album in a Row thing. I don't know what happened to that. We listened to all the Kiss albums and we never recorded it. But
I don't know that that's going to be possible anymore. We might have to re-listen to all the shit.
yeah, maybe we should get CJ in it. Was it? Who was it? No.
CJ, I'm pretty sure.
Who was it that fucking said he wanted? Yeah, CJ, right? That said he was pissed that we didn't let him in on it. I'm like, well, we hadn't even recorded it yet. So maybe we should
tell him
formally say we're inviting CJ McClellan to be a part of Kiss Every Album in a Row.
That's right. Start listening, man, from the first to last, and we'll push record.
He probably won't do it, and he'll just act like he did it.
He probably, he's such a big Kiss fan, he could do it,
Right.
I'm not, so I'd have to listen to him all again.
Yeah.
Especially the Elder.
Right.
Listen to that like 4 times in a row.
Yeah. It's that damn good, people.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. # Cheese Nacho Baby.
Oh, man. Are we done yet?
I think we are.
Okay, man.
Until next time. I want to turn down a beer.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to hang out close to the microphone.
That works.
Thunder Underground, y'all.